Picture this, a quiet coastal Mexican village where the air is laced with the salty scent of the sea. An American investment banker steps off a ferry onto the pier. The village is a picture of tranquility, a stark contrast to the bustling city life he's accustomed to. It's peaceful, serene, and so different from everything he knows, yet there's a sense of familiarity, a rhythm to life that is undeniable. Soon, a small boat gently docks at the pier. On it, a lone fisherman, his hands weathered by the sea, his face wearing the warm smile of contentment. The boat's modest size belies the bounty it carries. Several large fish, their scales shimmering in the sunlight, lay nestled in the belly of the boat. The sight evokes admiration in the banker's eyes. He's captivated by the fisherman's humble yet fruitful haul. Curiosity sparked, the banker asks the fisherman, "How long did it take you to catch them?" The fisherman, with a humble smile, replies, "Oh, only a little while." His unassuming statement leaves the banker momentarily puzzled. But to the fisherman, there's no riddle to be solved, no grand scheme to be hatched. His life is as clear as the coastal waters he navigates each day. The fisherman's day starts when the sun graces the sky with its warm and welcoming glow. There's no alarm clock, no hurried rush to beat the traffic. He simply rises when nature calls, picks up his fishing rod and heads out to do what he loves. His work is not dictated by deadlines or the constant ticking of the clock. He fishes until his small boat cradles enough catch to feed his family, and then he retires for the day. The rest of his time is spent in the warm embrace of his family. He plays with his children, their laughter echoing through the humble abode, a symphony of joy that no amount of money can buy. He takes siestas with his wife, their love for each other undiminished by the passage of time. He's not just present in their lives, he's actively involved, cherishing every moment, every memory they create together. As the sun begins to set, the fisherman strolls into the village with a serene smile on his face. The evening is spent sipping wine and strumming the strings of his guitar, surrounded by his amigos. The village comes alive with music and merriment, a testament to a community bound by love and mutual respect. His life, though seemingly mundane to the untrained eye, is full and satisfying. The banker, accustomed to the fast-paced, high-stakes world of finance, finds it hard to understand this simple lifestyle. He wonders how the fisherman could be content with so little, how he could not yearn for more. "But what do you do with the rest of your time then?" the banker asks, to which the fisherman responds with a contented smile. The American banker, seeing an opportunity, shares his vision for expanding the fisherman's operation. The banker, with an entrepreneurial gleam in his eye, looks at the fisherman and begins to outline an ambitious plan. "Imagine," he starts, "if you spent more time fishing and caught more fish. You could use the proceeds from your larger catches to buy a bigger boat." His voice is filled with excitement as he paints a picture of a larger, more efficient fishing operation. "But that's just the beginning," he continues. "With a bigger boat, you'll be able to catch even more fish. This would allow you to buy several boats and, before you know it, you'd have a whole fleet of fishing boats out there every day, reeling in more fish than you could ever catch alone." The banker's voice grows more intense as he dives deeper into his vision. "Now here's where things get really interesting. Instead of selling your catch to a middleman, you could sell it directly to the processor. You'd cut out the middleman and increase your profits." The fisherman listens intently as the banker further elaborates on the plan. "And why stop there? Eventually, you could open your own factory where you package the fish yourself. You'd control the product, the processing, and the distribution. You'd own the whole supply chain so you could really maximize profits." The banker then suggests a change of scenery. Of course, you'd need to leave this small coastal fishing village and move to a larger city, perhaps Mexico City to start with. But eventually, as the business grows and you build your brand, you could expand to Los Angeles or even New York City. You'd run your expanding enterprise from there. The fisherman, silent throughout the whole proposition, finally breaks his silence. With a look of curiosity, he asks, "But how long will this all take?" The banker, confident in his expert estimation, replies, "Maybe 15 or 20 years or so." The fisherman, taking in the banker's words, finally asks, "But how long will this all take?" The banker, without missing a beat, confidently replies, "Maybe 15 or 20 years or so." And with that, he concludes his grand proposition, leaving the fisherman to ponder the future that could be his if he chooses to take the banker's advice. The banker, with a confident laugh, estimates, "Maybe 15 or 20 years or so." He leans back in his chair, pleased with his strategic foresight. "But the best part," he continues, "is what comes after all that hard work and dedication. When the time is right, you can announce an initial public offering, an IPO, and sell your company's stock to the public. You won't just be rich, you'd be very rich. We're talking millions here. And with those millions, he continues, the world becomes your oyster. You can buy that mansion in Beverly Hills you've always dreamt of, drive the latest model of a luxury sports car, and dine at the fanciest restaurants. You could travel the world, see places you've only ever dreamed of, and live a life of complete luxury. And all it would take is a little more work, a little more time. The banker, a satisfied grin on his face, leans back and folds his hands. You'd be set for life. You wouldn't have to worry about anything ever again. You could retire early, live comfortably, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Your children would have the best education, your family the best of everything. You could make a difference, donate to charities, and leave a legacy for generations to come. And when the hustle and bustle of life gets too much, he adds, you could retire, retreat to a quiet, peaceful place, maybe a small coastal fishing village like this one. You could sleep late, fish a little, play with your children, take siestas with your wife, stroll into the village in the evenings, sip wine and play guitar with your friends. You'd have the time and the means to truly enjoy life. The fisherman, with a bemused expression, asks, and then what? The banker, with a triumphant grin, paints a picture of an idyllic retirement life. His vision, filled with grandeur and ambition, is an enticing one. Yet in his quest for prosperity and success, he fails to see the irony in his grand plan. The life he proposes the fisherman could have after years of tireless work and sacrifice is, in fact, the very life the fisherman is living at this very moment. The fisherman, content with his simple life, doesn't need to chase after the promise of wealth to find happiness. He doesn't need to toil for years, sweat under the sun, or leave the comfort of his home to achieve a life of tranquility and peace. He already has it. He's living it every day, from the moment he wakes up late and takes his small boat out to sea, to the evenings he spends sipping wine and playing guitar with his friends. The banker, with his Harvard MBA and his dreams of growth and expansion, fails to understand this. He sees the fisherman's life through the lens of ambition and progress, unable to appreciate the simplicity and fulfillment it offers. This is the irony of the banker's proposition. The life he offers as a reward for hard work and sacrifice is already being lived by the fisherman. The difference is, the fisherman didn't need to sacrifice anything to achieve it. This story serves as a reminder to us all about the importance of appreciating what we already have. It encourages us to find contentment in our own lives instead of constantly chasing after more. It urges us to value simplicity and tranquility, to seek fulfillment in the little moments of joy and peace that make up our everyday lives. And thus concludes the story of the banker and the fisherman, a tale that reminds us all, sometimes the life we seek is already the life we live. What is your ideal day? If you had the power to design your perfect day from sunrise to sunset, what would it look like? Welcome to the journey of self-discovery, where we explore the concept of an ideal day. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your perfect day. From the moment you open your eyes in the morning to that last yawn before sleep, what would your day look like? Now here's something to ponder. Does your ideal day require a gold mountain? Not necessarily. For many, the perfect day could be as simple and peaceful as lounging on a sun-drenched beach, a cool drink in hand and good company, or a riveting novel for company. Sounds blissful, doesn't it? And guess what? The cost of this day is practically zero. So let's take a moment to reconsider what we think we need for our ideal day. In reality, your ideal day might not be as costly as you imagine. Many people believe that their ideal day is out of reach due to financial constraints. But let's pause for a moment and consider this. What if the actual cost of your dream day is far less than you've been imagining? Picture this: relocating to a country with a lower cost of living. Places like Thailand or Brazil, where you could live like a king or queen on a modest budget. Intriguing, isn't it? But why are we talking about this on a channel that's all about business and making money? Well, it's a gentle reminder that making money is not the end game. It's a means to an end, a tool. The real goal is to live a life that makes you happy and fulfilled. So remember, money is a tool that allows you to do what you truly want. It's not the end goal, and your ideal day might not be as financially out of reach as you think. Becoming a billionaire is a common dream, but have you ever asked yourself why you want to be a billionaire? Now let's not kid ourselves. The allure of immense wealth is intoxicating, but it's essential to remember that it's not the number in our bank accounts that defines our happiness or fulfillment. Imagine the path to becoming a billionaire. It's a steep uphill climb, filled with relentless work, intense pressure, and a myriad of challenges. It's a journey that, in all likelihood, will consume your life. It's not just about the hours you put into your work, but also the hours you lose. The missed birthdays, the lost opportunities for relaxation, the weekends spent at the office instead of with your loved ones. Is the dream of being a billionaire worth the potential sacrifices? Only you can answer that question. But remember, there's more to life than money. Building a billion-dollar business might not be worth the potential sacrifices. So, let's go back to the original question. What is your ideal day? And more importantly, how much would it really cost? Take a moment and ponder. Write it down, sketch it out, let your imagination run wild. Maybe it's a day filled with laughter and love, surrounded by family and friends. Or perhaps it's a quiet day, just you, a good book, and a warm cup of coffee. Now consider the cost, not just in terms of money, but also in terms of time, effort, and commitment. You might be surprised to find that living your ideal day might not require a billionaire's fortune, but rather a simple rearrangement of your priorities and resources. The cost of happiness, of fulfillment, is often less than we think. It's not always about the grand, extravagant experiences. Sometimes it's about the simple, meaningful moments that make our hearts full. Your ideal day might not be as unattainable as you imagine. So, what's stopping you from pursuing it?
Does money really buy happiness? Have you ever pondered this age-old question? The answer might surprise you. Imagine a world of opulence, of lavish mansions, luxury cars, and extravagant vacations. A world where money is no object. For some, this world is a reality, but as the saying goes, all that glitters is not gold. Beneath the glossy surface, there lies a darker side. Take the story of a multimillionaire, a titan of industry who found himself trapped in a golden cage of his own making. His wealth, rather than providing joy, became a constant source of stress. Days filled with board meetings, late-night calls, and endless paperwork left him with no time for the simple pleasures of life. His children grew up, his relationships suffered, and he found himself yearning for the simpler times before his wealth. Scene script. A study involving 450,000 people revealed that once an individual's income exceeds $75,000 a year, any further increase in wealth does not correlate with an increase in happiness. Why is this so, you ask? The answer is simple. Money, while it can buy comfort and security, cannot buy time, love, or happiness. The pursuit of wealth, if not balanced with other aspects of life, can lead to stress, loneliness, and ultimately unhappiness. So, what's the secret to happiness then? It's recognizing that money is a tool, a means to an end, and not an end in itself. It's understanding what you truly want out of life and how much money you need to achieve it. Whether it's spending more time with family, traveling the world, or simply enjoying a good book by the beach, the key is to find the balance. Remember, $1 billion may sound enticing, but it's the simple pleasures of life that bring true happiness. So instead of chasing an endless amount of money, focus on what truly matters. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much money you have, but how you choose to spend it. And that, dear listeners, is the true correlation between money and happiness.